to the channel. What is going on with the goings on with the racist judge in Michigan? Let's get straight into it. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for tuning in. Secret audio recordings catch Oakland County judge using racist anti-gay slurs. Veteran Oakland County probate judge Kathleenryan has been relieved of her duties after recordings surfaced of her making racist and anti-gay slurs. The recordings were sent to key public officials, including Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter, who is gay. Some of Ryan's anti-gay slurs were directed at Coulter. In a statement to the Free Press, Coulter called Ryan words and said they justify her removal from the county probate court pending further investigations. Coulter continued, "There is absolutely no place for harassment of any kind or racist or homophobic language by any at Oakland County, especially by someone the public must be confident will act fairly and impartial. I have confidence that the agencies reviewing this matter will treat it with the seriousness it deserves and will take further actions if warranted." A new racist. Ryan was relieved of her docket last week, according to county officials. Besides containing Ryan's vulgar statements about culture, the tapes with the Free Press obtained on Thursday recorded her calling the typical Black American a effing lazy piece of S and referring to herself as a new racist. Dave Woodward of Royal Oak, chair of the Oakland County Board of Commissions, said he also received copies of the recordings. "I was sickened by it. There's just no excuse," Woodward said. "Such language demeans the role, corrupts the judicial, and erases the trust in our legal system," he said. Woodward added that if it's really the judge saying this, he hoped that a speedy investigation would permanently remove her from the bench. The recordings were made in secret by Oakland County Probate Court Administrator Ed Hutton. He told newscaster Heather, according to YWXYZ online news site on Thursday. Although Hutton did not return a voicemail left by the Free Press on Wednesday, he told Heather that he had been recording Ryan for 2 years after becoming increasingly shocked by and contempt for various protected groups. Hutton, who is a lawyer, said he had submitted a notice of sexual harassment involving Ryan in May to Oakland County Probate Court. Chief Judge Linda Hallmark heard nothing about it. So last week, Hutton sent the recordings to Coulter, Woodward, and Court Chief Justice Elizabeth Clement. WXYZ TV reports Hallmark relieved Ryan of her courtroom duties, and Hallmark also sent information about the recordings to the Michigan Judicial Tenure Commission, that state agency that recommends discipline for judges. Such recommendations can go as far as favoring removal from office. The ultimate decisions are made by the state Supreme Court. According to YXWZ TV website, lawyers representing Ryan issued a statement saying they were eager to start vindicating Judge Ryan in the appropriate forum that likely would be defending her in private hearings held by the State Tenure Commission. Domestic violence charge. The vulgar recording aren't Ryan's first example of using coarse language against her inferiors. In November 1, she was charged with domestic violence. The case was dismissed in March 2022, according to a police report of the incident obtained from the Wickham's Police Department. Ryan had been drinking and repeatedly struck a male companion during an argument, injuring the victim's face. and tried to walk away from custody and told everyone that she was a judge and would be coming after them, the report states. The police later heard from the victims, who told them he wants to pick up his girlfriend Ryan as soon as he can, and that other than hitting me in the face 4 or 5 times, nothing else really happened. Instead, Ryan was transferred to the Oakland County Jail. The next day, she was charged with a misdemeanor level of domestic violence, given a personal bond. However, 4 months later, in March 2022, her case was dismissed, although it's unclear why county prosecutors dropped the charges. Several elected officials responded to news of the recording. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel sent this statement. The story, as reported, is very disturbing. Fairness, a sense of impartial justice, upon judgment, are essential values our state's judge must exercise, and these allegations portray a grave failing of those values from a probate court bench. In addition, 2 state lawmakers who head the committees that oversee Michigan's legal system issued a joint statement. State Senator Stephanie Change, Democrat from Detroit, and State Rep. Kelly Breen, Democrat from Southfield, said Judge Ryan's actions are not only harmful and dehumanizing, they have brought dishonor to the position she holds. We are very concerned about the potential impact Judge Ryan's racist and homophobic beliefs may have had on families in her courtroom as she made decisions that impacted their lives over the course of a decade. Ryan has been a probate judge in Oakland County since 2010. She ran for re-election unopposed in 2022 and won't need to run again until 2028, according to her county biography. My thoughts on this, they need to go back for every court case this woman has had under her and reevaluate the decisions she has made. Because if she's a racist, I trust and believe some things didn't go right for a lot of people. Please let me know your thoughts below, and thank you for tuning in.
We begin tonight with a judge who makes life-altering decisions for families and those with disabilities, now accused of making racist comments and using shocking, derogatory language. Thank you for joining us for 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Mike Duffy. 7 investigator Heather Catallo joins us now with more about why an Oakland County probate judge has been removed from her docket. Heather?
Like a high-ranking probate court official says he's been recording Judge Kathleenryan's statements for years. Even though probate court administrator Edward Hutton says he's been harassed by Judge Ryan, he says he does not want this to be about him. Hutton says he's coming forward now because he wants to protect the people who have to face Judge Ryan in the courtroom.
Kathleenryan presiding. Good morning. You may be seated.
After more than 13 years on the bench, Oakland County Chief Probate Pro Tem Judge Kathleenryan is out of her courtroom. Chief Probate Judge Linda Hallmark removed Judge Ryan from her docket last week, announcing that a complaint about internal allegations of unprofessional conduct was sent to the Judicial Tenure Commission. Judge Ryan was arrested in 2021 for domestic violence, but those charges were later dismissed. And now she's back in the headlines.
Well, if you're black in any other country, you're doing way better. If you're an American black person, then you're a lazy piece of.
The 7 investigators have obtained the recordings that county officials say prompted Judge Ryan's removal.
He's just I have no use for him.
She's made it a living hell in the past 6 years. I mean, it's been terrible. It's cost me relationships. I think it's affected my health. Can't sleep.
Attorney Edward Hutton is the Oakland County Probate Court Administrator. He's in charge of running everything that's not under the judge's purview inside one of the state's largest probate courts. Hutton alleges Judge Ryan has been calling him both during work and after hours for years, And Hutton says during those hours and hours of calls, Judge Ryan said highly inappropriate things.
Why did you start recording the calls?
I just felt like it wasn't going to change. Nothing's manipulated in it. It's conversations that I was a part of, and I'm absolutely willing to testify to the authenticity of every single one of them.
I can honestly say that, okay, I'm not systemically racist, I'm a new racist. I never was, but now I am because you're shoving the down my throat and making allegations that you don't know about. You're telling me who I am and you've never met me. You. You.
Hutton says the judge also used homophobic slurs about other elected officials.
You know.
And that's not all.
A lot of times they were conversations about sexual encounters that she's having with various individuals, I mean, in intimate detail.
Hutton says for years he felt like he had to play along, and he says for years he was afraid to speak up.
I didn't want to lose my job, and I didn't want to be in her crosshairs. It's such a David and Goliath situation. I don't have the power. I'm not elected. I could get fired tomorrow.
On May 24th, Hutton says he sent Chief Judge Linda Hallmark a notice of sexual harassment.
For 3 months, nothing happened.
That's why on August 22nd, Hutton says he decided to send the recordings to the Chief Justice of the State Supreme Court, Oakland County Executive David Coulter, and other public officials. And he also contacted me.
I just want to make it right. I haven't filed a lawsuit. I'm not looking for a payday. I want to keep my job and do it in peace. And I want the people in Oakland County that come to court to get a fair shake, to have their day in court, to have an unbiased trier of fact.
In that email, Hutton said Judge Ryan, quote, has vocalized her hate and contempt for various protected groups. Once the recording shared with state and county, Judge Ryan was removed from her docket. In a statement, County Executive Coulter said, quote, there is absolutely no place for harassment of any kind or for racist or homophobic language by anyone at Oakland County, especially by someone the public must be confident will act fairly and impartially. The alleged conduct and abhorrent comments made by Judge Ryan merited her removal from the probate court docket pending further investigation.
Is Judge Ryan fit to be on the bench?
Absolutely not. Nobody with that much hate in their heart for certain people or certain groups of people, I don't believe that they could possibly make fair, unbiased decisions regarding them.
I did reach out to Judge Kathleen Ryan to talk to her about this. Her attorneys sent me this statement that says, quote, we respect the authority of the Michigan Supreme Court. However, we look forward to vindicating Judge Ryan in the appropriate forum. I also spoke to probate judge Daniel O'Brien. He said Judge Ryan's friends are supporting her and believe these statements are totally out of character for her.
All right, certainly a lot here, but what's next with the Judicial Tenure Commission?
Well, they cannot confirm or deny whether they are pursuing an investigation. There has been some reporting that suggested that the complaint against the judge involved an inappropriate personal relationship. Hutton says that is not true. He says there was no physical contact. This was strictly a sexual harassment complaint about her alleged comments that started all of this. But again, he says the bigger issue here is what the judge says about people in protected classes, and he's hoping that that is what the JTC will focus on. So everybody's just sort of waiting to see what they will do.
And it sounds like this is in its early days. We know that you're going to stay on top of it, so we will follow it. Appreciate it.